thank you for coming, and want to sincerely thank you for sparing the time to come and join us as we have this investor briefing this morning. We are proud and happy as a team for the results that we've been able to post in the past financial year. And this has been achieved with the collaboration of most of you who are in this room. You can have a team of angels in the board, but if you do not have a serious CEO to execute and to lead a team that executes that strategy will be eaten for breakfast. That's what they tell us in business school. So we want to invite the team leader who has been nurtured and trained by Albert Mugo, and now when she appeared before the board thought it fit that she'll be able to lead the team in the coming years. And so they've given her the position of managing director. She's still acting while a few I's have not been dotted, a few T's have not been crossed, but we believe that will be done shortly. Then she'll be the substantive MD, and she has a team, and I want her to come now, introduce her team, and present the accounts. Welcome, Rebecca Miano.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Looks like full house or what? It is. I must say, it is indeed a great pleasure to have all of you here today, and to say that we truly appreciate that every time we call on you, you answer and you really support our events. Even when we call you very early in the morning, you wake up earlier than usual not to miss our events. Today we celebrate yet another milestone when we finish 2017 strong. And our profit after tax, as you may already know, grew by 34% last year. The operating environment has not been very friendly, but that notwithstanding, the Kenyan genius, has continued to demonstrate its resilience in these unpredictable economic and bad weather times. May I also recognize those who have mentored us, mentored me, and though the chairman had introduced Mr. Eddie Njoroge, we introduce you again. Thank you. And Engineer Albert Mugo, this is a man who over time at Kenyan has built the profile. He has performed well, received accolades. And ladies and gentlemen, join me in appreciating a mentor, a true leader, and the energy manager of the year 2016, Albert Mugo. We wish Eddie Njoroge and Albert Mugo all the best in their endeavors. Kenyan is the only company that pulls along the previous CEOs. Others disappear, we never see them. Thank you, gentlemen. So we wish you all the best. I know you all remember the rights issue, whose new shares started trading in July 2016. That rights issue achieved 100% subscription following the issuance of the remaining 351 million shares to PIC, and I think PIC is represented today, PIC of South Africa. Very soon we shall see the fruits of the rights issue in the projects that we shall deliver. We have a short presentation that we shall take you through, just showing our performance, our strategy, and a very short promise that we have for you this morning. The first slide is just a story of hope, especially for the country, and it shows that Kenya was among the top in global GDP growth. And this is also confirmed by how the currencies have actually behaved over the last few months. The dollar has been quite stable. The yen hasn't had too much of movement, moving between 93 to 91, and also the euro between 123 and 121. Then I'll take you through the institutional arrangement in the energy sector. Of course, we have the Ministry of Energy and Petroleum in charge of policy. We have ERC. ERC regulates the industry. The Energy Tribunal, when guys in the sector cannot agree, and even with all the other users of electricity, they have a place to take their disputes. And then we have the electricity value chain, starting with generation. And KenGen does business in the generation space together with IPPs, supported by GDC in terms of steam. And we also know that the Nuclear Board is doing some work on nuclear. This is supported by investments in the transmission space, about 75,350 kilometers, and that is Kenya Power and Ketraco. And then on the distribution side, we have Kenya Power Rural Electrification Authority, have an investment of about 139,650 kilometers, and all this effort has so far resulted in an access of 68% in the country, access to electricity. And then Kenya's installed and output capacity over the last 6 years, a steady growth of about 7%, 1691 megawatts in 2012, and currently 2370 in 2017. And the unit sales in gigawatt hours over the same period, 2012, about 7.67. And then in 2017, we have 10,205 units. And that's the growth. And then the Kenya, the sector, the demand, peak demand, we have seen growth there from 2013, from 1354 megawatts to 1710. And going forward to 2018, we anticipate there will be a good opportunity for growth under the demand creation program that is currently going on under the Ministry of Energy and in the sector. And so in the medium term, we see that there will be demand for our product. And the customer growth, we see that currently we have about 6.8 million, up from 2.04 in 2012. And this has been under the last mile project that has seen growth. And the off-taker tells us there will be additional about 300 million customers by 2020. Some new developments in the power sector, the energy bill. We may be aware that this bill was discussed. It is currently pending the processes. And this bill, when it is enacted, will create market for generators. And it will also expand the business models. The power infrastructure upgrades, we have seen those. This has resulted in improved power supply quality and reliability. We also have the draft national geothermal strategy under preparation, And when this document is ready, it will guide investments in the geothermal power generation. The feed-in tariff policy is currently under review, and we believe it's a good thing. KenGen has some projects under the feed-in policy, and we await the review. There's also the draft renewable energy auction policy under the auspices of ERC that is under preparation. And we want to share with you our market position and mix as at 30th June 2017. And our installed capacity share was at 69%, KenGen, the orange bit, and 31% independent power producers. In terms of sales, all the power consumed in the country, 74% was by KenGen and 26% by IPPs. And on the right, the KenGen energy mix, hydro at 50%, geothermal 33%, diesel and gas 16%, and some wind there to top up our graph at 1%. Our installed capacity, still the generation mix. In 2017, we decommissioned 9 megawatts of thermal, that is Garissa and Lamu, that were decommissioned because the transmission line was then ready and those areas were included in the national grid. Then we had some geothermal, 10 megawatts commissioned in the year, and that then left our installed capacity at 1631 because of the decommissioning. Our strategic aspirations as KenGen will be summarized by 3 clear points. 1, we aspire to increase capacity, and we shall increase this by 2,500 megawatts. We shall remain relevant as a huge market player, even by 2025, and we are largely focusing on geothermal. The second aspiration, value creation. We aspire to provide adequate return to shareholders, and we are targeting a ROIC of about 10%. And then we aspire to lower tariffs. And this will be achieved by profitably supplying cheaper renewable energy in this country, and it will be good for the economy. And then our path, we are still traveling the journey of good to great that was started by the great men we introduced earlier. And this is our simple story. We want to be a great company, sustainable from generation to generation. In our strategy, we have 3 horizons. Horizon 1 was initially 2008 to 2012. And we delivered over 325 megawatts. That was extended to 2015. We were able to deliver another 375 megawatts. And then at that point, we revamped our Horizon 2 plan and extended it to cover the period 2016 to 2025. And we want to create sustainable power growth in Kenya. We wish to deliver, we are determined to deliver about 2,500 megawatts. And we would also want to diversify our business. Horizon 3, over the next 10 years, over 10 years, we shall continue exploring expansion opportunities and drive expansion beyond Kenya, establish a strong African footprint. And this is the story we love to tell, because in the medium term, we target to add about 721 megawatts. That's by 2020. So in 2016-2017 financial year, we had some progress in our projects pipeline. We have Olkaria 6, 140 megawatts. That is the PPP project. And tendering for a joint venture partner is under preparation. Olkaria 5, a lot of strides. We achieved financial close. Drilling was completed, and we got sufficient steam. Ground was broken in March 2017. Construction is ongoing. Olkaria 1, Unit 6, financing has been committed. Drilling is complete. We are now procuring a contractor. Olkaria 1, rehabilitation. The PPA for the old plant was extended for 3 years to allow preparation for the rehab. And the government of Japan has pledged funding, and the plant will undergo rehabilitation in a phased approach. As we go forward, we recognize that we have strategic risks that we are continuously managing. One of them is competition. Not a very bad risk, keeps people on their toes, and we have some mitigation strategies. Community expectation. This has been quite a risk, but we have formed stakeholder committees, and we are continuously engaging with communities to be able to partner with them. The legal challenges. We are perfecting our processes and enhancing policies to be able to cope with the challenging legal environment. And on climate and the weather, we are pursuing the geothermal strategy aggressively to mitigate the low hydrology. And as you may all know, this year we've had the worst drought, and our dams have reached the lowest level. But we are grateful that the geothermal has been able to mitigate that, and the effect of the drought has hardly been felt in the country. The next, we have only 2 slides to just summarize our future story, our growth going forward. And the capacity growth is focused on renewable sources. You can see what we had talked about on the right, installed capacity of 1631 megawatts. We would like to grow this to 2352 megawatts by 2022. And in the middle there, in the pie chart, we have the projects that we are working on to achieve that growth. Olkaria 7, Olkaria 6, we have Olkaria 1 rehab, we have wellheads, Olkaria 1 additional units, and 4 topping up plants. Olkaria 1, Unit 6, 70 megawatts. Olkaria 5, 140 megawatts. Meru Wind Project, 80 megawatts. Ngong 3, another 10 megawatts. And we are glad to report that our growth will focus on renewable, and that's why there will be no movement on the thermals. We will not have movements on the hydro, but you can see we shall increase the wind and the geothermal. The next slide, our business model. We would like to retain our traditional KenGen model, which we are calling KenGen A. That is on the existing mandate and business. KenGen B is the model where we shall partner with others, special purpose vehicles, joint ventures, to be able to implement the power generation business. And then the new exciting one is also KenGen C. This is a diversification story, and we have incorporated a subsidiary. We are working on institutional and regulatory approvals, and that company will be offering services like drilling services, consultancies, maybe industrial park and other business to diversify our business. we do hope at the right time we shall invite you as we unveil our Kengen C company. And behind all this, we have the Kengen people, we have the organizational health supporting this, and going forward, the people's story is appearing in the boardroom big time, and so our business will be delivered by our people. We want to thank you so much for being with us. We also want to acknowledge that in our business model, Power Africa has really supported us on that, and we really appreciate. That has been very, very valuable to our business. I want to thank you all so much for listening to us. We wish you well in all you do, and may the door and the wind of possibility swing wide open to all of you as we go forward. Thank you so much.
Amen. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.